Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Who's this?
Jimmy! It's Jake Tapper. From The Lead with Jake Tapper.
On CNN?
On CNN.
Oh, hi, Jake. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what's on my mind, Jimmy. My new book.
You wrote a book? That's great, Jake.
Well, I co-wrote, to be exact, with the great Alex Thompson. Credit where it's due.
What's it called?
Thanks for asking, Jimmy. Our new book is called Original Sin: President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again.
Okay, this is a joke, right? Because that's not what Jake Tapper's book is really called, is it?
Not a joke. That's the full title. Really kind of lays it all out there, I thought.
Now, that it does. Do you see any irony here, Jake? I mean, meaning you specifically wrote this book.
Co-wrote.
Yeah, whatever. Do you see the irony?
I don't think so. I'm not a big irony guy, though.
Jake, you and CNN were instrumental in covering up Biden's decline, even when it was painfully obvious, gaslighting the American people into thinking he was fine when he clearly wasn't. You yourself called it a stutter and called his cognitive decline a conspiracy theory.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Does that technically count as irony, though? Legit asking you.
Yes!
Oh, if you say so. Anyway, the blazing hypocrisy here simply cannot be ignored. And this is by design. As we speak, I am getting absolutely dragged on social media by people juxtaposing my past comments with the title of the book. But what does that mean, Jimmy? Publicity for the book. Right? I have more eyeballs on our book than on any previous book I or also another fella have ever written.
Is that good, though? Angry eyeballs?
Well, that's the gamble. As you know, Jimmy, you can write a book, but moving more than a few copies is getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
So there's a bold new strategy in the publishing industry that we are trying out. What if someone wrote a book that they had absolutely no business writing, to the point where the fact that they did write it displays such utter gall? Would people buy the book out of pure rage? Here's hoping.
So this was done on purpose.
Oh, absolutely. That's literally why we chose this topic. We sat down and thought, is there a topic where my reporting and editorializing was proven so completely wrong that it would be ludicrous for me to even mention it ever again? Jimmy, the choice was obvious.
As obvious as Biden's cognitive decline?
Absolutely. Which brings me to another point. Also at play here is a question that goes to the heart of journalistic integrity itself.
Yep.
When is it acceptable to be right about something?
How about from the beginning?
Now, rookie mistake, Jimmy, but understandable.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes a responsible journalist needs to wait until everyone already knows something is true before you report it. To do so earlier than that would be irresponsible. We call it the Jussie Smollett doctrine. Sometimes calling obvious bullshit makes you look racist, or, in the case of Biden, ageist.
Good grief.
And the super responsible journalists, like myself, before that tipping point, will gaslight the public, saying they're bad people for seeing the truth for themselves, like a senile, doddering president. But not anymore. The coast is clear, so buy my book. Our book.
Jake, do you realize that this makes you seem like an unreliable narrator now for any topic about anything?
No.
Okay.
Also, our blurbs and promo reflect all this. Check out this quote from me, verbatim. Toni Morrison once said, if there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. That's what inspired this book. We wanted to know more about what we all just lived through. More than 200 interviews later, Alex and I have a much better idea, and soon you all will too.
This is unbelievable.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
It's wild that you called me to tell on yourself like this.
Jimmy, you called me.
Right. Didn't you call the show?
Jimmy, it was literally 5 minutes ago. You called me on my cell phone.
I could have sworn.
Gotcha. See how easy it is to gaslight when you're a trusted journalist? Yeah. Still got it, baby. How'd you going? Questioning your own sanity and everything. Anyway, we're off on a big book tour. Hopefully that will help move some pulp, as we say in the biz. Thanks for letting me use your platform to help sell what would appear almost to be a practical joke played on an unsuspecting public. Jake Tapper, tapping out.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.